Hey guys, my name is Third Eye, and today I'll be discussing the reasons why Michael Jackson's number ones failed commercially, and we will also talk about the disaster around Michael Jackson's accusations in 2003, which affected the promotion of the album and its lead single, One More Chance. But before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like my videos, and if you have any idea for a future video about music, comment it down below. Well, after the release of Invincible, Tommy Mottola, president of Sony Music, managed to bury the entire album, its planned projects about it, and what was barely left of it. The singles were all cancelled, like Unbreakable or Whatever Happens. There was no tour for it, and therefore, the promotion was so poor that the album got abandoned after months of its release. Even though the album did not really sell well in the United States, obviously because of Mike's bad reputation, it did sell practically good in the rest of the world, which proved that Michael was still loved, even after his turbulent past. Now, what would be next for Michael was the farewell of Tommy Mottola, who, after the immense disaster of Invincible's promotion, accumulated too many controversies for his company and was therefore causing them a bad image. At the beginning of 2003, the media announced the important news. Mottola was officially fired and expelled from his company. With Mottola out of the way, Michael would now be out of pressure and sabotage for his next projects, but what Michael didn't see coming was the enormous controversy that was yet to come in that year. A few months before, during summer of 2002, Michael had been asked by Martin Bashir to be interviewed for a documentary about his life. Michael, not aware of how the documentary would affect his image, opened the gates of Neverland and allowed him to shoot for the following time, giving him an open access to his intimacy. On the 3rd of February 2003, Living with Michael Jackson was finally transmitted in the British station ITV and was seen by 15 million people in the UK and another 38 million in the USA. Michael had not been asked to supervise the final footage included in the documentary, which was the grave mistake that would cause the controversy. The documentary focused on Mike's relationship with Gavin Arvizo, a kid diagnosed with cancer. And, having said this, I think you can already imagine the direction this is headed. The footage was hardly manipulated in order to raise suspicion on him for child molestation, a problem which he thought he would never have to face again since what had happened in 1993 with the Chandler family. In the documentary, he appeared holding hands with Gavin, and also, from this exact documentary, the famous allegation that Mike had shared his bed with different children had its origin. In answer to this new controversy, he dropped just a few weeks later a small collection of tapes he called Michael Jackson, the footage you were never meant to see, which showed the tapes Mike's cameras filmed during the filming of Bashir's documentary, which clearly showed it was manipulated. As in these new tapes, you could clearly see how Bashir admired his way of treating children, and that he did not really say he had shared his bed with children, but he had only shared his room. This would help, but not for long, as the Arvizo family would later on know how to take advantage of this situation. In order for his image to recover, Michael did a few more things during this year. In April, he released a program he called Michael Jackson's Private Home Movies, a series where he would tell unique stories about his life with rare footage never seen before, which received very positive critics and was really loved by the fans. Another thing he did to clean up his name a little bit was having a cameo in Men in Black 2 as Agent M, which would help him a lot, as he had always wanted to be part of the movie industry and it would serve as a nice refreshing of his persona. In addition, he re-released the song What More Can I Give, which had been rejected by Tommy Mottola in 2001, and its earnings were all destinated to charitable institutions. So once more, he would do humanitarian work to help the poor. At the end of the year, for his big comeback in the music industry, he would release Number Ones in November, the acclaimed compilation of his greatest hits and an extra new track, One More Chance, the lead single of the album. One More Chance was a song written by R. Kelly for the Invincible sessions, and, in my opinion, one of his best tracks ever. On the 18th of November, Michael Jackson was in Las Vegas shooting the first scene of the short film for its single, where he would switch roles with the audience and put them on stage while he would dance while looking up to them. Everything went great, and some days later he would come back to shoot his scenes in solitaire, but right after finishing with the first scene, he was hit with the news that more than 50 officers had entered Mike's ranch under the mandate of Tom Sneddon, who was there to inspect the property after a new complaint of child molestation, this time by the Arvizo family. Yes, you heard right. The kid with cancer who was saved thanks to Michael was now accusing him of sexual abuse, also declaring that Michael had given him wine and pills. The video could not be finished at all, as on the 20th of November he was arrested and taken to prison handcuffed. These images would appear on every single newspaper for the next day, and the news went worldwide. While this happened, even though the One More Chance music video could not be released, Sony put a lot of effort into promoting the album as best as they could, but this whole disaster made things really complicated. The video for One More Chance would remain in the vault, and Mike's legal problems would eventually dissolve, as he would be declared not guilty of 10 sexual abuse charges after a 4-month-long trial in 2005, where 135 witnesses would be summoned to testify in court, and more than 10,000 evidences would be examined. Even though it was official that Mike had been declared innocent, it's true to say that really not a lot of tabloids would announce this publicly, because they wanted to maintain the bad image they had given to him in the past time, and not rectify their mistakes, as most of them had already accused him of being guilty when nothing had been confirmed. The video for One More Chance would finally be released posthumously in Mike's Vision, a DVD which included almost all of his music videos were mastered in 2010. Well, my take on this episode is that it was really fucking unfortunate for Michael. It is incredible that he had to suffer all these problems even during the promotion of one of his records. First with Invincible, where he would not be able to have an artistic choice and its promotion would be ruined, and then with Numberones, where he would be accused once more and then declared innocent, just to prove that the Arvizo family was lying and only accused him for the money, and in order to ruin his image. It is really unfortunate and unfair. It's obvious to say that after all these problems he had promoting his last 3 records, Blood on the Dance Floor, Invincible, and now Numberones, he didn't want to record no new music anymore, at least for a long time, and that's how we would not get any more music for the next years until he announced his comeback in 2009, shortly before his death. Well, I think we should leave it at that. I hope that by narrating the entire story of the disaster happening during the Numberones era and also giving my opinion, I made you aware of how fake and unfair controversies managed to bury and ruin MJ's projects. See you next time with another video. Bye, see you around.